Yo, yo. What up? What up? Yo. What up? What up? Hey. Hey, welcome. Welcome to Benny's crib. What up? Yeah, just leave your shoes over there. It's cool. Yeah, thanks. Does that sound cool? Yo, what up? Welcome to Benny's crib. Tremendous. I'm glad we're all healthy. I'm glad we're all here because it's an exciting night. It's a Tuesday as we're recording this. It's a mid to late October fall evening here at Benny's crib, and we have a special guest on this episode 105. We're here tonight to talk with a Portland artist, painter, muralist, and more, graffiti artist and more. Currently celebrating their first ever solo exhibition
in Portland.
In Portland,
yeah.
Titled Second Season.
That's correct.
The showcase is currently up at Notch 8 Gallery until
correct.
November 12th.
Mm-hmm.
A major name out here. In my opinion, like, this is kind of why I wanted to get you here myself. Like, I know you got tons of accolades and shit, but a major name in the graffiti world. Shout out the pillars of hip hop. Ryan Adams, how are you?
Oh, thank you so much. It's a wonderful introduction. Doing well. How about yourself? Doing all right?
No complaints. Yeah, very focused on just being present and what that means, you know? Not just saying I'm present, like, oh, I'm present. Like, no, like, actually, like, how am I feeling? How am I thinking?
It's harder to do than one would think.
These things don't make it easy either, man.
Yeah, I know. Oh, my God. Yeah, for
These
sure.
phones get in the way a lot.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
But, yeah, just thanks for being here. You mentioned you've seen some interviews, so I imagine you might guess what the first question might be, but
I have somewhat of an idea, but I'm going to let you go ahead and fire that off. I think I know what's coming.
I'm going to throw it at you.
Yeah.
What is your first memory of hip-hop?
I was ready for this. So it's wild because I was honestly like trying to dig up this tape and figure out which one it was, but my mom was not like, I mean, she wasn't like wild young, but she was like 24 when she had me. So when I was like 7 years old, she was still very much like into what was cool and hip and all that stuff around that time. And she used to get like tapes. I mean, it was back in the cassette tape days. And it was back when they would have those tapes that were just like rap. You know what I mean? Like before it was like actually like a genre that the music industry invested in. And there's this tape that had, I remember two of the songs. There was a Kid and Play song on there, and there was Kool Mo D, Wild Wild West.
Shout out
like,
Kool Mo D.
Yo, for real. And like that was the moment I remember when I was like, what is this? This is awesome. You know, like just so perplexed because it was unlike anything I had ever heard up until that point. So that is my earliest memory, which was a very long time ago.
Yeah, let's keep it in that realm, I guess, of the early life.
Yeah.
You're from Portland, correct?
That's correct. Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
What's your age?
I am 37 years
37,
old.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm 28, so you got a solid almost decade over me.
A little ways.
But again, time don't fucking really... I feel like the most time really matters to me is when I'm like really young and it's still like so fresh year to year. I'm in that like mold of like mid to late 20s to like, you know, like knowing a lot of 30-year-olds in my life now, and like it's all the same shit, man.
You get to a certain point. I feel like there's a lot of like development that happens in that like age 10 to like 30 essentially. There's so much that happens, and then you kind of settle into who you are as a person. I feel. I mean, I don't know. Everybody's experience is probably different, but that's what happened with me. And then it was like kind of once you got to the kind of like adulting stride, it was like, okay, this is not as much change every year. Kind of a little more consistent. Yeah.
So what is that? 85?
84.
84.
Yeah, end of 84. Yeah.
Talk about growing up in Portland as a kid, like, and, you know, probably when your memories start, like in the late 80s, but even like in the 90s, like what was it like growing up here, man?
Yeah, I mean, overall, I would say, you know, Portland was a very safe and good place to grow up. I mean, I've talked to, you know, friends of mine that grew up in like major cities, and they had to deal with a lot more stuff than we did. But the reality of it was that this place, I mean, even still now, is like one of the whitest states.
I think it is the whitest.
Is it?
I think so.
Oh, I didn't know. I know it was like us in Vermont, like like jockeying for positions for like years.
Yeah. Any given day.
Yeah. But it was, I want to say it was like, I remember like looking back at it like during the early 90s, one of the years was like 98 point something percent white people in the entire state. So like being a black man in a black family in Portland, definitely. And I mean, Portland wasn't as shiny as it is today too. I mean, it was much more like blue collar, and I mean, it was, you know, it had its challenges. You know, it was definitely I was made aware of my race and my otherness at like in kindergarten. Like, so it was like immediate. And I mean, yeah, navigating that all growing up was not that much fun. But overall, family life was great. My mom's did a great job. My dad did a great job. Like, I was fortunate enough to have like family close by, and the same group of me and my friends that have known each other since we were in like third grade, and like we still talk like damn near daily. So a lot of pluses, but it was definitely a lot to maneuver, kind of on the racial side of things, for sure.
Were there a lot of black families in town? Like, I imagine there probably wasn't at the time.
Yeah, like we all like pretty much knew each other. Like, I want to say I could have counted them all on one hand at one point. I think in Portland, at least, there were not many of us at all. So yeah.
Well, I just appreciate you saying that. I want people to be truthful and honest about, you know, their answers here on this podcast. This is a space where it's like that, and you know, even if people want to view Portland as like this shiny gem of open-mindedness on the East Coast, it's still in Maine. And I think, you know, even just you saying those things shows in the past 30 years, like, there might be some things that have gotten better, but we still in Maine, man.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, not to go into something too wild too fast, but like, even in Portland, we're in a bubble here, because, you know, like, it's, and even southern Maine, I would say, but especially Portland, like, we're in a bubble. And you go anywhere northwest into this state, like, it gets different. And like, it happens quickly.
Yeah.
So
within like 40 minutes, you could be like, it feels like you're in like fucking Mobile, Alabama.
I was gonna say, I always tell people that, like, the more north you go in Maine, the more south you feel like you're traveling in the country. Like, it's extremely rural. Like, a lot of these places, you know, unfortunately are very poor areas, lack of resources, lack of education, and it's just like, you run into some shit. I mean, I just worked on a project about a year and some change ago, where we really had to deal with some stuff, like, and we're painting a mural, and we're working with like kids in the community, and we still had like some serious harassment issues where, you know, I had to like leave for a little bit and have to come back and hope the team would do it. Yeah, it was rough, dude. Like, so that shit is still very prevalent, unfortunately.
Well, I appreciate you vocalizing those things, man. Yeah. Let's keep it, I guess, in the youth, maybe you know, more lighthearted sense.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
What were your hobbies as a youth? Like, what did you have fun doing as a youngin?
Yeah. So, oh my gosh, like, I'd say probably around third or fourth grade, I had an after-school teacher that gave me...
I don't want to stop, but I got some like Nardwuar energy like throwing out at you.
Oh,
and I was going to say, was there an important book of subway art?
Yes.
You discovered early on from an after-school teacher,
After-school teacher, yeah. So her name was Erin, and she's still a phenomenal printmaker. I don't know if she's in town anymore, but she was living here. I think she came from like Atlantic City or something like that, and she was an after-school teacher, and she kind of noticed that I was like a little hip-hop kid. Like, she was like, whoa, this kid, like, how does he know who Nas is? You know what I mean? Like, how does he know? Because I had cousins that I would go visit, and they would like let me listen to their tapes.
And this is like the height of Illmatic, I'm imagining.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is definitely era. Because I think this might have even been because
Live at the Barbecue.
Because this was like 93 maybe.
Yeah, Illmatic came out the same week I came out.
Oh really?
I came out April 25th, I think, and I think Illmatic came out the 19th. I think.
Wow, and that was 94? Yeah, because I was gonna say 94 was like that year, right? For like, okay. So this might have been like still sort of mixtape-ish. I don't know, but I remember she was like, "Yo, like you're into this stuff, like that's cool." And I'm like, "Yeah," and she gave me like a couple mixtapes that had just awesome stuff on it. That was the first time I had heard Old Dirty's.
Did she make them? Like,
Yeah, she like made the mixtape and like wrote the list so like I would know who was who. It like just blessed me, dude. But like she gave me a couple of those, and then she had a copy of like Subway Art. She was like, check this out. And I was just like, what? Now, I was already familiar with like Source magazines because that was pretty much the only thing you could get up here.
really?
So I had already seen the back where it was like the what did they call it? It was like the graffiti section. I can't remember what they used to call it.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah,
I was a little
it'll,
late
like,
for the Source.
Yeah, it'll come up. I know as soon as I like close the door here, I'll be like, that's the name of it. But I was already kind of familiar with that, so I was like, I had seen like pieces before, but this book was just like, what? Like, this is wild. Like, these kids did this on trains, like illegally, like with spray paint. Like, it was just, I was bugged out. And since then, I mean, when I got that book, I just copied like so many of the pieces in that book. I would just redraw them. And that is what kind of got me into the world of like graffiti. And I would like seek it out. Like, I remember once I got a little bit older, I was able to leave the house. I would try to go to places where I could find it. There was definitely graffiti writers here in Portland, Maine, like in the early 90s. Like, I remember seeing pieces by Byrne and Rich and Case that were like, just even to this day, like,
Rich
stand out. Rich HBTK, yeah.
I was
like,
thinking, fuck, I'm forgetting their first name. Fucking legend out here, man.
you're probably thinking of the same
Mike
person.
Rich?
Mike Rich, yeah.
For real, for real?
Yo, Mike Rich.
Allegedly?
Yeah, exactly. Mike Rich, like, that's like my OG right there. Like, that dude has done so much for like style writing and graffiti in this state. It's wild how, like, I can't I can't say enough. Like, the guy is just, and yeah, he was painting, I think he showed me pieces that he painted in like 89 in Portland, like 88, 89. Yeah.
He painted it in 89.
Yeah.
I mean, for everyone listening, I was born in 94, so just painted it
Yeah.
5 years before I'm even alive. I just think that.
Yeah. So these dudes were doing it, and it was impressive. And even to like today's standards, I think back on there's some pieces that are like burned in my mind that just like, I was like, this is what I want.
And that's so visceral, I imagine, because like, I mean, for instance, Wild Style's right there.
Yeah.
You're barely, that's what, 89's 5 years after Wild Style? Like,
Yeah. I didn't get that till later. Yeah.
Well, just in the same era, though, of like, you see graffiti now, and like, we all, you drive through Maine, even rural Maine, you'll see some fucking tags underneath a old railroad bridge. But there was a time where this wasn't commonplace, where it wasn't just part of like national, even like rural culture. And I think for you to be so like fresh in that must have been incredible.
It was wild, dude. Like, cause you were discovering this, like, not only this style of art, but this world. You know what I mean? It was like, it was just, this is pre-internet. So like, you can't just Google it and find it out. You had to go outside and find it. And then when you found it, you still had 1,000 questions, because you're like, who did this? How did they pull it off? Is this okay? Am I going to get like rolled on up here? Like, there is just, and I think with that being the case, I'm still kind of that way. With the internet, it helps just to research stuff. But like, if I find something, I kind of latch on to certain things, and I like have to know as much as I can. And that was like the first thing, I think, in my life. Yeah.
Let's keep it flowing then a little bit in that time period. So I imagine Ma Dukes doesn't want you running around getting caught with paint cans in your hands.
Nah, she wasn't into that.
So are you maybe like spray painting on cheap pieces of plywood in the backyard and shit?
Yeah. She was really cool about that. She got me like a full sheet of plywood, and she was like, yeah, you can practice out here. And
hell yeah.
Even at one point, like, my grandfather like got me a box of like these dollar cans he like found at like some yard sale or something, and was like, oh, here. And then like, so they were supportive, kinda, they were like, this is something you're clearly very much into, like, just, don't get yourself in trouble doing it. But yeah, at that same time though, I was breakdancing with friends, and I had turntables at the house, And I would also go over to my friend's house who was DJing as well.
Did you beatbox at all too?
No. Just DJing, breaking, and graffiti writing.
That's three of the pillars, man.
Three. I knew my limits though, dude. I wasn't trying to rap.
You never had a couple 40s and started rapping like.
Oh, I mean, isn't that like a rite of passage?
Exactly.
Like,
Let's make it sure.
Everybody have those.
Everyone's got to spit a 16
Everybody has
every
those,
now
but
and
that
then.
is where I realized my limit. So I was like, oh no, that's not me.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Yep. There was one other question I like to ask about artistry and creation.
Sure.
Usually I ask musical guests if there is a, family member or anybody who was a musician in the family. Did you have maybe like a Uncle Charles maybe who was an artist?
Yeah. You are on some Nardwari. Yeah. My Uncle Charles was a very well-known oil painter in the Virgin Islands, and his paintings are just beautiful. Like, they were just phenomenal. At my grandmother's house, my dad's one of 9, so I got like millions of cousins. Like, it was like the family reunion where it was like, who's that? And like, oh, that's your cousin so and so. Like, it was like that kind of family. But my grandmother's house was pretty large because she had it from when her family was young.
Where did she live?
Springfield, Mass.
Yep. So pretty far from
Yeah. So not. I mean,
far for a day drive, but not far for like
Yeah,
life,
definitely far for a day drive. Damn, those rides were long.
Dude,
but
so long.
Yeah, like we used to like there would be family events, holidays, things like that, and so there'd be like this house full of like cousins and family, and that's where I got like my introduction to Wu-Tang, and that just so many things from my cousins. But there was this one massive painting. I want to say it was probably like maybe 6 feet tall by maybe 5 feet wide of my great grandmother that my grandmother had from my Uncle Charles in her living room. And I would just like stare at it because these were like beautiful, like just realistic oil paintings. So I would just look at like the blends and like how he worked with light and shadows and just color and the way it would sit on that, and I would just like stare at it, and just be like, how does somebody paint like that? And at that scale, it looks like a person is in front of you, so it's just like,
especially if you're a little kid, man.
Oh yeah, it was wild. And there's a lot of creative people on my dad's side of the family, so it was like good to be in that company, But yeah.
Hell yeah, and then after them came you.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's keep the story of young Ryan Adams. I'm refraining from making... Is that motherfucker Canadian Twigs, the singer?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm not even going to say that name. I'm going to not make any jokes because I imagine you get that a lot.
Yeah, I did until he got in a bunch of trouble. Like, apparently he did some dirt.
Dude. Hey, yo,
like,
well.
Yeah, he did some
we
dirt.
Definitely
And then kind of like slowed down. But I saw somebody with like a Ryan Adams Sucks t-shirt one time.
Oh.
And I remember being like, that's a funny coincidence.
What if it was about you?
Then I probably would have got a different response. They were like, well, I'm like, that's actually my name. And they were like, well.
You got beef, man?
Yeah.
What the fuck's up with that shirt? We have fun. Well, after graduating high school and I think developing a love for art, it sounds like you ended up down in Boston, I believe.
I did.
Emmanuel College, correct?
That's correct.
I've actually gotten... Not in trouble, but I've done some dumb shit on that campus before.
Oh, it happens down there.
Yeah.
Did you go to school in Boston? Or?
Kind of. I went to school in the North Shore.
Yeah, okay.
I kind of went to, honestly, like the Emmanuel College of the North Shore. It's called Endicott College.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. Very like, I went there and I'm like, oh, this is on the woods. It's in the woods. It's on the ocean. It's near Boston. Like, there's a visual arts building. This seems like pretty like cool and like open-minded. And then I went and I'm like, low-key, like anyone who ever was going to Endicott, like if you cool with like preppy, kind of like East Coast, like boarding school type vibes, that's your vibe. If you're looking for like kind of preppy shit, that's your vibe. You're looking for like open-minded, predominantly like cool kids.
Yeah,
it wasn't like that. So it was mostly my homies and I ducking off to the woods and smoking dope.
Yep.
And I definitely have made some trips down to to Emmanuel and been amazed. Like I'll just be walking to, like past some Cumbies or something, and then like you're in the fucking Fenway district, and all of a sudden you look down and you're like on like this college like quad, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then you're like, oh, and then 2 seconds later, like you're at Wheelock or Simmons or something.
They're
and you're
all like stacked on
like,
top of each other. Yeah.
So shout out, and that place is mad religious too, right?
It was, yeah, it was. When I got there, it was like, I want to say 2 years after going co-ed. So it was an
Oh, I didn't know
all-girls
that. It
school,
used to be.
yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Up until like the early 2000s.
Isn't
late
Simmons
90s.
all?
It is.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's and right next door to each other. But yeah, that's where I ended up. I ended up down there, and yeah, it was just an interesting run down there.
Yeah, you can't really encapsulate, I think, a collegiate experience in a soliloquy or a statement. But I really wanted to ask this question about college for you. What made you want to study psychology?
Yeah. So I was That's a very good question. It was unfortunate that I think my attention and my skill set was definitely toward the visual arts, but that wasn't really seen as like a viable career option. It was more kind of viewed as, this is what you do on the side. When I was like, kind of getting ready for college and talking to, the college prep folks and all that stuff. So it didn't really feel like an actual option. So I was like, at first it was kind of it was kind of between two things. So I was kind of like, okay, either I'm gonna go poli-sci and pursue like law, which like I have an uncle who's a lawyer who I spent a lot of time around growing up, and I really liked kind of the research and the debate side of that stuff. I would watch him and just kind of see that whole like essentially like chess that he would play with, figuring out cases and things. So I was like, this is awesome. And then I had in one of my chemistry classes, we did like a short neuroscience section, and it just completely captivated me, and like just kind of brain chemistry and figuring out how the brain works. So I was like, I'm gonna lean into this and try that out. So yeah, that's what I went for, clinical psych. I still loved my neuro classes; those are awesome. But I was taking like art electives, and I was in like one of the studio classes, and I didn't even know this lady was the head of the art department, but she comes in and she's like, oh, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I'm like, how you doing? She's like, what's your major? And I was like, I'm clinical psych major. And she's like, well, do you have a minor? And I'm like, mm-mm. And she was like, you need to come see me after class. And I was like, what the fuck? I was probably high. So I was like, it's like, okay, like whatever. And I went in there and she's like, I've looked at like I've seen what you've been doing. Like you need to either switch or pick up a minor. And I was like, well, I don't think I can switch. Like that sounds like a lot of wasted time. So like at that point, because I think it was like my sophomore year or something. So I was like, I'll pick up a minor. So I did that, and I was able to take a lot more like kind of design and studio classes that were awesome.
Nice.
And
Hell yeah, man.
Outside of the actual classroom, I was getting my graffiti education outside. So it was
That's a good city to be tagging up, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. No, in those days, it was like I got there right before the crackdown. They had a really bad crackdown where like a lot of people got in a lot of trouble. And
really?
They were like raiding people, and it was like
raiding graffiti artists.
Oh yeah,
Whoa.
Yeah. They would like build cases. They were following people for like months on end,
and this is even like really before like the massive. I mean, everyone's like Big Brother. Everyone's like Patriot Act. Like that's like, holy shit, the Patriot Act's 20 years ago.
I was
like,
gonna say it was like during that time.
I think about like the surveillance state. Like this is what everyone's worried about. Like getting fucking microchips. Like you have a microchip on you at all times. Like we are in the surveillance state. I mean, I'm talking in the two cameras right now.
Yeah. No,
but even back then, like I'm thinking like it's not like super easy to follow people back then like it is now.
Yeah, they had to like use city resources to do it. I mean,
using tax dollars to catch graffiti artists.
100%.
You
dude.
Fucking serious?
They had a vandal squad that was like made up. The two people that headed it were just like,
oh my god,
the worst.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck 12.
They were the worst. But yeah, there was so I was there right before that happened. So right around the time I was leaving, it started happening, and things were getting like hot for people, and no, that's
damn. Well, let's get into I think another interesting segue. Mm-hmm. How'd you fuck up your leg?
Yo, wow. That is I didn't expect that coming. Yo, I demolished my leg.
Let's talk on this.
Yo, it was the dumbest. I wish I had a good story for it, but it was a bunch of us just drinking, wilding out, just having like one of those like hangouts, or just a bunch of us in one of my friends' backyards, and
Is this Mission Hill?
No, it wasn't Mission Hill, but a lot of the hangouts did happen on Mission Hill for sure. I lived on Mission Hill for a little bit too. That was the spot. But this is a little outside of town, and it was like 2 tiers of people. So like it was like a big crew thing, and like there's probably like 10 people in front, 15, whatever, and we're wild like like somebody snapping pictures, and we're all just like grabbing each other, and we fell. And somebody, like a couple people, like fell on top of me, and my ankle stayed planted, and everything. So I broke my whatever the exterior bone is. I can't remember if it's
fibula or tibula.
I think the tibia is inside, so fibula. I may be wrong with that, but it snapped in 2 places. So there's a floating bone, and then the ball and socket of my ankle was also out of place. So I still have a plate. 2 surgeries, a screw across my ball and socket that was there forever, for like, I think 9 months or so.
Did you black out because of the pain?
No.
What were you sipping on? Do you remember the alcohol of choice?
I think I was just drinking 40s. I was just like drinking beer. But I wasn't even like wild drunk.
That sucks.
It snapped and
That's
I felt it.
Such a shitty way.
Yo, I snapped and I felt it, and I was like, yo, I broke my leg, dude. And everyone was like, yeah, what the fuck, if you actually broke your leg. And I like pushed myself up like this. And, like, I think I had shorts on, but you could see, like, my bone, like, pressing against my skin like that.
That's like some UFC shit. You ever seen that Anderson Silva kick?
Yeah. So, yeah, like, and people were like, oh! So they're like, I gotta go to the hospital. And, yeah, 2 surgeries, about a year and some change recovery. It was brutal. It was brutal, dude.
How did that change the trajectory of your life?
Oh, my God. Yo, you're hitting some solid points, dude. You're good at this.
Thanks, man.
It sat me down. It sat me down, like, literally, and in the grand scheme of things. I was living a pretty fast life.
And you thought you weren't coming back to Portland, pretty much, right? You were thinking, like, law or, like, brain neuro stuff for your future?
Yeah, I was going to stay in Boston no matter what. Like, I was going to stay in Boston, and then I had looked at moving to the West Coast, too. But, yeah, so with the broken leg, it had me out for a while, and it got to the point where I had to start paying back my student loans, and I was like, dude, this is how much I have to pay, like, because I think it was like 6 or 9 months or something when you had to start paying back. And when I saw what I felt like it was, I don't know, I was like, I had burned through all my savings. It's not like I was like 22, I wasn't like making that good of money, so I was just like, I gotta go back home and recover. So it was just, it was brutal, but it was one of the best things that happened to me in hindsight, because I was just living a very fast, wild, like I didn't really care. It was a lot of like wild activity in that.
Recklessness maybe?
Like, yeah. It's funny, my wife only knows me for the last 8-9 years. So when I see friends from the younger days and they tell stories, she like almost doesn't believe it, because I know, I feel you, man. A softie, you know.
I feel you even more so because I did a lot of my dark, wild shit in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Then when I came back to Maine, I had a couple of years of like stagnant, kinetic energy from that time period following me, and I really had to go through some be like, where do you think this is gonna end for you if you don't change your lifestyle habits type shit?
That's what that was me kind of just having to be stuck with it. Like, no other option. I can't get up and go out. I can't distract myself with dumb shit. Like, you have to sit here, recover, and in that, your head is like, wait, what am I actually doing right now? So, it changed everything, dude. It changed a lot. That's for sure.
Didn't you pick up, like a sketchbook at this time, too, when you were laying down?
Oh, yo, I was crushing sketchbooks. A lot of ideas were formed during that time. Like,
were you recovering in Portland too, or
both? It was like, so I did Boston as long as I could, and as soon as I got to like an air cast after my first surgery, I was like, okay, I got to get back to work. So I was working some like temp job all the way in Medford, so I had to like take this long, and it was just like, it sucked. I was still recovering. It wasn't ideal, so it was just like, pretty much got to the point where they're just like, you need to come home and recover, man. I'm like, yeah, I don't have any more money left. So yeah, then I came back, had my second surgery here. And, yeah. Got you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted maybe, what year did you get your second surgery?
I want to say, that whole time period is so blurry to me. I want to say it was like 2008 or 9.
Cool.
8 or
So
9, yeah.
about maybe a little over 10 years ago, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to like bridge a gap somewhat, because in my research I felt like I got to this understanding that you came back into Portland, having to recover. You thought your life was going to go one way, and then this accident set you in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, like, I feel like I started really seeing your name pop up heavily maybe in like 2017, 18, 19 out here.
Mm-hmm.
And then personally what made me be like, fuck this motherfucker, like doing something different was the Doom mural that you collabed on, and we'll talk about that later. But just I kind of want to get to that. How the fuck did you get started out here, in a sense? Like, what were those early times? Let me check my. I don't want to off top freestyle too much here.
Sure.
This is pretty much this is what my question is. I guess I'll just say this. You do a lot today: large scale murals, signage, select freelance jobs for certain businesses, both locally and nationally. But I want to start more at the beginning of like where all these seeds kind of get planted. How did you get back into the art scene, or become more of independent artist when you were back here and recovered?
Yeah. So it was a slow process, I think. I mean, that's all relative, I guess. But I was, when I got home and I was recovered enough, I was still painting graffiti all the time. So I was still, staying active and getting better at using spray paint as often as I could. So there was kind of a real turning moment, or a turning point, when Bingas used to be on Congress Street.
Not even Free Street, on Congress Street.
Yeah, on Congress.
Where on Congress Street?
Yeah, it was right where, it's like right near Congress and Deering. So like right on that corner, like where Deering goes like and slopes down like super.
Where Hero Cafe is?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like right around the corner from that. Like, so I think there's like a co-working space or something where it is now.
Going down the hill or up towards Congress?
Up towards Congress. So it's on Congress, like right across from like where the fire station is.
Yeah,
there.
the Bram Hall area.
Yeah, exactly. So Binga's burnt down, and they had boards across the whole thing.
Binga's burnt down?
Yeah, it like burned, like straight up.
Was it a grease fire?
I don't know.
It was that hot sauce that they had.
Yeah, it was
that shit put a fucking
well, that's what they named it after, because it's like the 2008 like fire sauce or something. Yeah, like the 08 fire sauce.
You connecting plugs in my brain.
Yeah. So that's what they named it after, so it was 2008. Yeah, so this is when this was all happening.
They put gasoline in that sauce, by the way.
It is.
That shit didn't even taste like hot. Like it tasted like it hurt me. Like I literally rotted the lining of my stomach running out.
It's not a good choice. It's like, I mean, if you're into that, I watch people get hurt.
Yeah, like,
try it.
It's not even legit. I think they put nitroglycerin in there. We're getting off topic though, because we're talking about Binga's geography.
Hot sauce, yeah.
And I forget how that even relates.
Oh, because I painted it. So, like, the place was burnt down. It had all these boards. And I'm like, there's a spot right on Congress where they're, like, boarded up across the thing, like, street side. Like,
allegedly.
I want that spot. Well, no, I knew a girl who worked there.
Oh.
And I was like, ask the owners if it's cool, because it just looks like shit. And she just, like, texted me back. Yeah, they said it's fine.
Oh, so it's not even alleged. We're good on this one.
I mean, I think so. Like, I think it ended up being fine, because I was just like, all right, let's do it. And actually, me and Rich on a Sunday morning, Rich was kind of like, dude, you sure this is all right? I'm like, yeah, let's just go, dude. Like, let's just do it. Like, I'm going to do the Binga's character, and, like, let's just do pieces out here. And dude was like, okay. So we roll out the background, and there's a cruiser across the street in the, like, whatchamacallit?
That fire station.
Yeah, the fire station, where they always are.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, so rolling it out, it's just sitting there. It's like you bring out the crate of spray paint, shake one, whoop, they just pull up. And I'm like, we got permission from the owners. Like, I wouldn't be out here on a Sunday morning. Like, come on. And he's like, where's your proof? And I was like, all right. So I think I, like, tried texting the girl.
Oh, you gotta find the middleman and all that. Oh, man.
And so I was like, we wouldn't be out here. You know what I mean? And, like I'm like, for real, we can just wait if you need to wait. But he was just like, all right, whatever. Like, clearly... Like, I bet if we, like, grabbed our shit and ran, it would have been, like, a whole thing. But he was just like, all right, whatever. So I painted that. And it got a good amount of attention. It was like on the cover of the Portland Phoenix at the time.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and
Did you expect that?
no, not at all. Not at all. I thought I was just
I
putting
mean, you
putting
might
my
expect
name
like
of.
the pigs kind of ruffling your feathers a little bit for doing that, but you might not expect like community acclaim from it.
Absolutely not. No, no way, dude. Like I painted so many things at that point that like the vast majority of people like in the neighborhood hate it. But like so it was kind of like whoa, that's weird. And then it was like hey, the owners of Bingas want to talk to you because they're opening up their place on Free Street and they want you to do murals for them. And I was like, what? Like what? Like this is a thing? So I was like, okay, like whatever. They're gonna pay me to do that. And they had me in on the meetings with like the designers, the architects, and the all the people, the GCs building this place out. And it was a peek into this world of like, whoa, wait a second, like this people will pay me to paint, and I'm working in conjunction with designers and people that it's making me think about my work in a different way, and it's making me kind of think of different ideas that I wouldn't normally do with spray paint. And so I did a bunch of work for them at the Free Street spot, and that was the moment. That was like kind of the turning moment because people saw those and they were like, hey, would you like to do this place? And it just kind of like snowballed because it was like pre-Instagram, pre all that stuff. So
Yeah,
people had to like see it and be like, who did that?
it's all word of mouth. I feel like.
Yeah, it really was. So that kind of like connected a lot of dots on like the restaurant bar scene, and that like I can't thank that industry enough for like keeping me going like over the years because once you kind of like became a name within that group, people would open up a new place and be like, hey, we need someone to do signs. Hey, we want a cool mural here.
Yeah.
Like, who did yours? And then, so yeah, that was kind of how it all started, and it just kind of like gained some traction.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Was there any murals you were doing for the restaurant or like just dining scene? I guess that really you felt like you started to find like your style maybe or like a comfort, because I want to talk about like the gem style. But I kind of want to maybe get into some predations of that, like and that preceded that. Like, do you have like any just murals or jobs you're like, oh, I think I'm starting to like unlock parts of my brain here, like?
Yeah, well, I think so. The first couple were very much like illustrative kind of graffiti or lettering style stuff, so it was like very much kind of within the realm that I was already comfortable in. But there was one job that I did for this restaurant where they had these big partitions, like these big boards that were just like haggard. They were ugly, and they wanted me to paint the name of the business on there, and I was like, cool. But then here comes like the town ordinances, and they're like, that's a billboard. We don't allow those here. So I was like, I still want to put the name in there because I still like letters, and also like at the time, I mean, still, dude. I mean, tell me not to do something, I'm gonna be like, you sure about that? So I was like, I'm still gonna do it, but I'm gonna make them have to prove that it's in there. Like I'm gonna mask it in there enough so that like you can't even see it, but it'll be in there, and that's where like the gem style started. Was that because I just like geometric breakdown
As a complete disrespect to authority.
Yeah, it
That's
was like
beautiful.
I've said it like before. Like my life was a series of people being like, "Yo, don't do that," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do that," and then like either like falling on my face and learning a great lesson, or it opening up some door to like, you know what I mean? It was
Fuck it.
and that was legit. Like, yeah, I've had problems with authority in my younger years, but yeah, so that was really where it came from. And with that piece, I was like, oh, this is different, like this is. And I mean, I would be remiss to not like mention that I had a friend, like still have a friend, Matt Moore, who's a huge influence on me, and he's also in Portland and a phenomenal, like one of the, in my opinion, world's best designers, painters. Like he's just really, really good. And he did a very geometric. He's a very like geometric guy. So that was kind of the first place where I saw like, oh wow, like you can take shapes and kind of keep them familiar, but place them so that it's a recognizable thing. He was like the first guy to like show me that. So yeah. So it was very much, influenced by Matt and kind of the graffiti like lettering style that I developed, and then kind of putting that together.
Hell yeah. I think I want to dive more into that style. But before I do that, in celebration of talking about restaurant murals and designs, I like to keep things light sometimes and be humorous. Apologies if you have any tired of this location, but Tokyo Sushi Ramen Bar and Grill over here, where Burger Bar used to be. Have you ever seen what's inside there? They kept the burger up, bro. What are y'all doing? I'm not trying to be a dick, but I'm gonna say this. Y'all ain't a burger place. There's no burgers up in there. Why does it say Burger Bar in Tokyo Sushi Ramen Bar and Grill? Also, every time I say y'all name, I'm finna add a different like thing, like Tokyo Sushi Poke Bar Ramen and Grill, an Emporium. There's too many names, and there's not enough murals that represent the cuisine. And I ain't hating. I ain't trying to be a dick. I'm saying this out of love because I think we should, as a people, be like, pretty much just me being like, yo, you got spinach up in your teeth, bro. Like, get that shit out. Like, that's the same thing. So just know that y'all ain't selling burgers, man. I drive by that shit and I get so upset for no reason.
It's the illest. I walked by it the other day with my wife and we both just like died laughing. Like, it's still in there. Like, why would you keep that? But
hey, we're talking about it. I just gave them free press, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
Fuck them. Actually, no, I don't know y'all. I wish y'all the best.
They might have did it on purpose. They'd be like, yo, we're going to leave it in there so people talk about this and they know. You know what I mean? Who knows? But something tells me it wasn't that thought out.
I got a lot more I can say, but I'm going to keep my peace. Trying to be very aware of mindfulness, so what I can and can't control, I can't control y'all whack ass motherfucking mural.
Oh man!
I say that with love. You describe it as a gem style, your artistry. Shout out geometry, shout out trapezoids and shit.
A good rhombus, yeah.
Good rhombus.
Yeah.
There is a lot of geometry at play in your style.
For sure.
I think you manipulate letter forms, highlights, shadows to create different levels of depth. I was going to ask you, how did this style come to fruition? Because you were self-taught kind of in this mostly, but it sounds like really just a lot of, not even trial and error, but just a lot of practice, just a lot of application.
Yeah, absolutely. So after I did it once on that spot, I was like, whoa, this is a thing, you know? So I ended up tinkering with it, just drawing it out, trying to figure out different ways. And I feel like I'm still tinkering with it. It's always kind of in development. But the geometric designs or the line work that creates those patterns and designs are based off of the flourishes and extensions you'd make off of writing graffiti letters. So like if it's an R, like a regular R looks like that, I might kick it out and swing it. And like that is what is the backbone of these geometric designs. Cause like I will obviously like make things connect, make things work and everything, it's all different, but that's basically the structure of them and how they come to be. And then so that's still very prevalent in the work, but just trial and error, trying out different things.
And there's so much hip hop in your style, excuse me. Like if
Thank
there's
you.
no hip hop, there's no fucking graffiti, duh.
Yeah.
Or I mean, maybe you could argue there is going to be street art to an extent, but I don't think graffiti would flourish without the backing of the hip hop scene in the Bronx and New York at the time that they kind of both exploded myself.
They ran in conjunction.
Yeah.
Like I think
the music of hip hop and the graffiti of hip hop.
Graffiti, I think they were happening at the same time. But a lot of graffiti writers from that era, and still to this day, there's like a very like the hardcore scene breeds a lot of amazing graffiti writers. I mean, even like that kind of like psychedelic scene from like back in the 70s when this was happening, like a lot of amazing graffiti writers kind of came from that scene too, the punk scene, like, so it's all kind of like the counterculture, you know what I mean? It's like those things, but it did happen to run in conjunction with kind of like the birth of the hip hop movement in New York during that time.
Especially like in places like, Portland, where it's not going to be like a epicenter of hip hop. The fact that like graffiti can have such a stronghold here still is just so powerful to me, like of the influence of hip hop. I was gonna ask too about any artists that maybe influence you, like I might mispronounce her name, but Say Adams.
Yeah. Say is a
Def Jam legend, I believe.
Oh, like a graphic design legend.
Not just
like
just
painter.
Def Jam, but
Oh, absolutely. Say Adams, made the logos for, I believe, Run DMC.
I think that's where my mind goes, is like that era of like peak 80s, like, I don't like this word that much, but you could say like branding.
Yeah,
like, fucking, because the business side muddies that, but branding is important. I think you want to be able to represent what you are.
Visual identity, you know what I mean? It's like to have that thing that you instantly recognize is very hard to do. And like that guy, and started by, painting graffiti in the subways as a kid, and like he's always been a huge influence. I got an email from him one day that was like, "Nice last name, sir. Like, love the work you're doing." And I was like, like
What?
all right. And I was like, all right, I'm out.
Just out the blue, say Adam?
Yeah, like randomly to my email inbox, like
What?
not like a DM, like to my email.
There's this rest in peace, Mac Miller. There's this picture of Mac Miller's in front of this tweet where Jay-Z's, pretty much just praising a lot of today's hip hop artists, mostly black artists, and then the next tweet is like, Mac Miller nice too.
Mac Miller nice too, and he's just like framed in front of it. Love that.
You could get that with the Say Adams, man.
Yo, for
imagine
real.
your child itself's like, what?
Yo, for real. Like, I remember I got that email, and I was like working that day. I was working my old job, and like, I was like, yo, the day's done. Like, y'all can't tell me anything. Like,
The month's
like,
done.
yeah, no, we're done here. Yeah. Yeah, so no, he is one of those people that I've always really, really looked up to on a lot of fronts.
I didn't even realize it. Adam Squared, the exhibition.
Oh my, yo, you gotta put that out into the
music
into the
curated
universe.
by RhymeBeat, food by Yardie Ting.
Oh my gosh.
Live at Benny's Crew.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There we go. Awesome. Well, thanks for kind of getting me somewhat like into the more modern realm, I guess, because I think it's almost like, it sounds silly, but like pre-social media and post-social media in terms of a lot of the art world, because
absolutely.
you can put out so much of your shit. And that's where I really found a lot of your things, or like a lot of your pieces and murals. And I want to just briefly give you a chance to talk about some really like powerful and big ones that I think that you did in the culture that created some waves. And just if you have any like statements you want to say about them.
Sure, yeah.
The first one was the "We Gonna Be Alright" one.
Yeah.
I feel like that came at a very big time. It's a very culturally relevant phrase. Kendrick Lamar, obviously.
Absolutely.
What was it like doing that one?
So that all became, and actually you kind of, when you said there's so much hip hop in your work, like if you go through and look at even just the paintings I do, there's a lot of references from rap songs, like a lot of references from rap songs. But going back to this one, this was kind of the most notable, I think, and the most obvious. And it was, I created that right after the world shut down in March of 2020. So I was working a corporate gig for about a decade, and had just had my second kid in September, but I had built up the mural and sign painting jobs enough, and I had like a steady design job for a brewery, and I had built up enough work that I was like, okay, I'm going to take the leap. So I took the leap second half of February, and then...
Wait, is that when you quit Hannaford?
Yeah.
How good did it feel to quit Hannaford right there?
It felt amazing. So the thing was, so I managed the Hannaford account for a broker. So I was in Hannaford for like 5 years, and then I worked remote for 5 years for a broker based out of
pre-2020.
Pre-2020, yeah. So I was, I was ahead of the game there. So I was doing it before it was trending. But so yeah, I know that like same pair of sweatpants life way before. But yeah, so I was managing the Hannaford account for this company, and it was a decent gig. I mean, it was fast paced. It was definitely stressful. And it wasn't what I was passionate about. So I was like, this has a time limit for sure. But I jumped second half of February, and 2 weeks ago, and I got damn near newborn at that point, and everything shuts down. And of course, as the world's shutting down, I had jobs booked out through like August essentially, and it was like email after email of like, sorry dude, we don't know what's happening with the world, we're putting everything on hold, like, sorry dude, we gotta cut. And it was just like, what did I just do? Luckily, obviously I'm a planner, so I had a little bit of savings to like chill, but I was like, what the fuck is gonna happen right now?
That's a shitty time.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. So yeah, We Gonna Be Alright was like, I mean, I just kept kind of repeating it in my head because I was just like, we're going to figure this shit out.
Yeah, that's more for you at that point, honestly, than like, I feel like it's like for the city, like, hey, like, we can all look at this and feel something, but hearing your story, it's like, nah, like, I got to remember this for me.
That was for me. Like, and I think we talked about this pre getting going here, but like how I found that like staying true to what you feel and what you believe, I think is when the best work comes out, and when it's very personal and you're able to kind of put that out there, because you realize how many people are going through similar things and how much of a shared experience this whole thing is. This is like a prime example of that, because I was just like literally I got a newborn. I got a, I think, 3-year-old at the time. I just quit my job. Like, the world's shutting down. All right, we're about to go through it. Like, but I'm like, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Like, just kind of like, we're going to figure it out. And so I drew that piece. And I created that piece and released a print of it. And I had never really done a print before. So I think I only made like 25 of them or something like that. And I put it out to the world and it was like gone. It was like they just went. And I was like, whoa, shit. Like, that was like, I wasn't really like, okay, that's cool. Like, whatever. And then it just like got like wild amounts of play online, and that was kind of the only way people could see work. I mean, galleries are shut down, museums are shut down. I mean, you weren't even really going outside at that
people
point.
didn't want to like walk around in general.
Like, it was so literally only thing. So if something hit online, it was like everywhere. So that happened, and shit changed after that for me in regards to kind of the career and the opportunities that opened up.
I kind of want to segue into, I think, another piece, because it was like very similar to this time period, and obviously police murdered George Floyd a couple months after that, and you probably had so many fucking questions about this shit, so I kind of wanted to make a just like space for you to say anything that comes to mind when you think of that mural, because I really appreciated the phrase you said. You said, now the spotlight is on black creatives and other business owners that have been overlooked. It's wonderful getting this attention, but I've literally been painting around the entire city for about a decade. Can you speak more on that quote, maybe?
Yeah, that's the You Can't Unsee piece. Is that the one you're talking about on the Space Gallery, right? Like,
I think different quote, but the piece I'm talking about. But yeah.
So that's, I mean, I felt it. It was I was just talking about this with someone not too long ago about that time period where it was like we all witnessed one of the most brutal murders I think anybody's ever seen in their fucking lives, dude. Like, it was just one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen. And at the same time, we're all trapped inside. So this is our only, so people are forced to see something that they would normally just scroll past. Or normally just like put their phone down and do something else.
Walk away from.
So the country was forced to kind of digest some of the things that make us who we are.
Yeah, that's built upon.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, there was a lot of what felt like an oh shit moment from a lot of these like big institutions and companies that were like, oh shit, we've been doing this the whole time. We've completely been like actively overlooking creatives of color. And so there was this real big like rush of like, wait, we gotta fix it. And I don't want to say I'm a pessimistic person, but I'm not the most like trusting in the powers that be.
I feel you, bro.
You know,
I mean, you're under a wire poster right now.
Yeah, so it's like you recognize patterns and you see how things work. So it's like, oh yeah, people are gonna do this for their marketing checklist, and then they're gonna
performance activism up the ass. That's kind of what I was feeling, and like I was just wanting to have a space to talk about this kind of shit, because I think in a not to interrupt your point.
No, go ahead,
But just in a very white city, in like you said, a bubble. In Portland, we don't have to convince each other, the average person, that like you're open-minded.
Yeah.
Or that like, duh, like black people have rights. Like duh, like we all fucking get that. But people in Portland, I think, at this time, like just doubled down on the white guilt, and it seemed like it was just like so much was focused on white people almost like processing their own evils, and then maybe not, if I can say, like giving black people and black artists like a genuine space to be fully expressive of themselves. Like, I feel like white people sometimes define black artists and black art by trauma, and I don't really necessarily think that's right personally, because I can't speak on what it's like to be a black artist, but I don't want to ever define one person's life by just the trauma they go through.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, you touched on a few things that were pretty astute observations there. I think definitely the trauma side of it. I mean, you see that in the music that we love the most. I mean, it's like, it's the I mean, unfortunately, I mean, that's what's gonna, that's what they push. That's what they want to see. And there's these certain narratives that are expected of black creators in certain spaces that fit. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's like the fucking traumatic shit. But then also with my experience on that end, like, we did see a lot of people kind of facing feelings of guilt and wanting to bring you on. And a very good point you made was there's a difference between giving you an opportunity and giving you space to be in the room. And an opportunity is something where they can, kind of give an opportunity can lead to space in the room, absolutely, but there's also a lot of situations where it stops right there, where they'll give you an opportunity to do something in this realm, and then they say, cool, thanks, and then continue on doing. And I can't even begin to tell you how many emails and things we got from places. There were places that, even locally, like Rachel always, my wife is always like, yo, you can't be like salty about shit. Like, you gotta chill. But I can be petty. Like, sometimes I like hold on to shit, and like, I know, like, there were some times where like certain people, places, things, like, I know I was busting my ass, and I was literally surrounding these places with exterior pieces or interior pieces, and you never get considered, and you're not thought of, and you're not taken seriously, and you're seen as like, oh, you're a little spray painter. And you just, when that switch happened, and all of a sudden, it was like, oh my God, we love your work. There was a lot of, like a lot of like, like, and there was a lot, we had to weed through a lot, and it was a total mind fuck. We're still processing
during a
it.
traumatic time, not only like for like life in general, but like, I mean, like, including like the George Floyd situation, just the decades of, I should say centuries of white supremacy.
Yep.
I mean, just like, this shit shouldn't surprise you, bro. If you saw what happened to Rodney King in the 90s, man. Like, it's just like, these patterns happen forever, so you have to fucking go through all this fucking shit. And then we're in a pandemic, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's heavy shit.
Yeah, it was tough times, dude. It was tough times. It was gnarly. And we're still processing it. We were just talking about this in a car ride the other day, about how there was pieces of it that felt real that over time have proved not to be. And it was a lot. Still is. It still is. But I mean, like, yeah, during that time period, it was like, so yeah, that the piece I did that was You Can't Unsee was kind of like, you've recognized us. You've shown that you know we're here.
Yes.
You can't, what do you do now? Where do we go from here? And even with the literal, like, we've seen one of the most vicious murders we've ever seen at the hands of police on TV. What do you do now? You can't pretend that didn't happen. Like, so we have to figure out where we go from here. So that was kind of what that was talking about, and that was a gnarly time.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying all that too, man. Just because I really think that systemically, from a business standpoint, from a corporate standpoint, so many institutions in America and even in Portland view, I think, activism or trying to dismantle white supremacy as like this fucking thing on a checklist of chores that you can just do. And it's like, bro, this shit is, just from my perspective, so ingrained and integral into so much of American culture that if you don't like actively try and just, be aware of where your language comes from, where your behavioral norms come from, where your even like information comes from, I guess, like who are you listening to? Like, you just take everything like your dad's fucking friends told you growing up as like fact. Like, that ain't how life is, man. And I just realized that people don't really know what the fuck's going on half the time in terms of how bad it is out here. And I think one thing that's always made it so hard for me to take people who are gonna be like, we're gonna change things seriously, is like, you have to change your whole fucking life, bro. You can't just change one thing. Like, yeah, it has to be, I think, a lifestyle change. So I really do appreciate you being honest and just, feeling like you can have a space where you can say this shit. Because in my opinion, there ain't enough publications especially like I'll like I'm not gonna name anything right now, but best be like I won't be afraid to name shit. Like publications want to be like, we care about black artists.
Yeah.
We have a space for you. Here's a column about why diversity is important because it's Black History Month. That should be every fucking week, bro. Like how do motherfuckers don't understand it, bro?
It's
I mean I'm not gonna get angry, but
no. I mean it's a passionate subject, and it's so well, dude. The system is so well designed. Like it's obviously disgusting and deplorable, and I fucking hate it, but you gotta give credit where credit's due. This design is fucking flawless.
The system
and
is
like,
working the way it wants to work.
Flawless. I was literally in a therapy session like not too long ago, and we were talking about like my frustrations with a certain thing, and my therapist was able to be like, listen, if you zoom out, this is kind of like the racist systems that are in place, and it's designed to have you looking at the person next to you as if they're causing the problem, where this is actually. And I was just like, it's so good. I've been aware of it my whole damn life, and I still get fooled every day. It's like
every day I'll get fooled.
It's like, oh damn. So yeah, it's a complex one to navigate, but important to figure out.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
important to talk about.
Yeah.
Important to sometimes just shut the fuck up and listen to people who have gone through something, and don't be like, oh yeah, I can validate your experience through my experience. No. Just let someone talk about something sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I want to say.
Absolutely.
Especially if you ain't lived through that shit. But again, 100%. Much love and appreciation for your words.
Thank you.
I just gotta shout out one mural that touched my heart, touched my soul. It's still there, personally, in my mind whenever I think about it. That's the MF Doom mural.
Yeah.
Shout out Richie from the Hill,
Yes.
the Baxter, and I'm
Yes.
probably gonna mispronounce, but like Haan McDonuts or
Noah. Yeah. So Noah,
Noah.
Bax, and Rich. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Noah
That's their
backwards.
like. Yeah.
those
yeah,
are
yeah.
Instagram names probably too.
Instagram
Right?
names. Yeah.
Oh, how much time we have left too? By the way, I don't want to fuck anything up before we gotta get it.
On this one, 16 on that one.
16 minutes. What about battery life? How we doing on battery life?
Just change that one.
You're a soldier. Look at you. Thank you,
Looks
man.
good.
All right, I feel good.
Awesome.
How did that motherfucking Doom? You said 16 on that one, sorry. Sweet.
21.
Oh, 21. Oh, we could start a whole new podcast, bro. Thank you for that MF Doom, man. Like,
yo.
I know you're not the only one, but
Yeah.
like, thank you for real. Can you just have any final thoughts on that one?
Yeah. So we all found out at the same time. Wasn't it New Year's Eve? Like I think when the was
New
it
Year's Eve.
Yeah.
I can't even think about
Yo,
that.
we were like, I was like at home with the fam, and it just like ruined. I mean, like everybody I know was like sad, you know. Like I don't want to say ruined, but it was like, it was so sad because like that guy to me. I mean, I have the mask tattooed on me, dude. Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you know, like he just meant so much more than just being an MC. There was something so real about being, or something so great and informative about seeing somebody just being their weird, true selves, but also caring, giving a shit, and mastering what you're doing. Like when you saw those, I feel like, I mean, I'm sure I'd seen it before, but that was one of the first times to me that I really latched on to it, because I'm like, yo, this dude is a nerd. He's also like up on hood shit. He's like a historian. Like he's a comic book guy, and he's putting it all together. There's nothing that, and I mean,
flawlessly at that.
yo, like, I'm sorry, but if at this point you don't have that guy in your top 10, like, I don't know if I trust you. But like, yo, it was just one of the most, like, and from day one, I remember, yo, this is a wild throwback.
KMD days?
No, it was after that. It's yo, my dude Patrick, he rhymes around here. I forget what he goes by, dude. But
Not Peace Out, Pat.
no. It was back in the Iron Mike days here. They had this thing called the Iron Mike.
That battle competition?
Yeah. They had this Iron Mike thing. I don't know how we got in there, but we were like way too young to be in there. And this dude had the Operation Doomsday, like the flat mask T-shirt, and one of my homies that was with me was like, yo, that's the illest shirt. And he was like, I was like, yo, who's that? He's like, yo, MF Doom, you haven't heard that yet? And I was like, no. And this was probably 99. This was right when
that's right when the album came out.
Operation
Yeah.
Doomsday came out. So I was like, no, I haven't heard it yet. And he was like, yo, you got to check this. We went back to his, like, this was like a couple days later, whatever.
God.
And he played it. And I was like, this is weird, yo. Like, because, I mean, this is like 99. This was like during, like, you know, early Def Jux, like Mr. Lift acrobatic, like real, like, thumpy, like, hip-hop. You know what I mean?
Raucous Records.
Yes. Yeah. So this is like in those days. So then you hear a bunch of Sade samples.
Yeah.
And you're like, you know, yeah. You're like, this is weird. But then
It is funny. He sampled Sade. I forget that.
oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. No, like in Hall and Oates, he's like sampling Sade and like so you hear it and you're like, yo, this is weird. But then you start listening to him and you're like, yo, this dude is ill.
Spitting.
Like, and then they're like, yo, he made all the beats, and you're like, yo, what? Like, so from then on, it was just like this connection and all the comic book references because I loved comics as a kid. So it was just like,
I mean, Doom is from Fantastic
like straight
Four.
up, yeah, like it's as direct as it. And a lot of those samples, like it was in my twisted face and I forged the mask. Like those are all old Spider-Man cartoons. So like you hear him and you're like, oh, that's Dr. Doom's voice from the cartoon. So it was just like all the things. So yes, that was a very long-winded way of saying that this dude had a massive impact on my life.
Thank you, MF Doom. I
Yeah.
got Doom in the kitchen right now. He's like,
Oh yeah, yo,
can't-
like one of the
I can't even.
hands down one of the greatest. So when he passed, it was like we gotta do something. We
Y'all
gotta do
did it.
something.
That was the
Yeah.
most beautiful, I think, memorial I'd seen for him locally, at least.
Thank you.
I was smoking a joint, and I think I was playing. Fuck, man, I can't even tell you what I was playing. I felt like I was in a place void of space and time. I was just in that alleyway, just wearing like a winter jacket, smoking, and just looking at it all, and listening to the music, and feeling like waves of pain from like the last couple of years and just life in general. And being like, man, thanks, Doom. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of what I do is honestly in love for MF Doom.
Oh, likewise, dude. Likewise. That was a good one.
For real.
Yeah.
Let's talk on the most recent artistic endeavor.
Hey.
Second season.
Yeah.
You've had pieces at other places in New England, such as the Center for Maine Contemporary Art in Rockland, I believe, and then Rochester Museum of Fine Art, I think, in New Hampshire.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
And then obviously you've had some like pieces in town, like Portland Museum of Art.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep. Had one there, yep.
But this is your own solo exhibition, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel to have your own like completely solo exhibition now, man?
Feels good now. In preparing for it, I was bugged out. I was it's a crazy experience you go through preparing for a show, especially a solo show when you have to fill an entire gallery with new work. It's a ride. You're locked in. You're losing it. You're wondering if everything's good.
Tunnel vision.
Oh, it's a weird space, dude. It's a weird space, but I feel wonderful now having it up. I'm so excited with the outcome of the show so far. I received an amazing review last weekend, and just my friends and loved ones that were able to come by and check it out were all like, I can't. I'm kind of still kind of on cloud 9 from
Hell
when
yeah.
it opened up. Yeah, it was scary. You know, it's always scary.
I have a lot of fear when I make art. A lot of fear.
And then putting it out there, and then
Yeah.
for things to be so personal, like, so that's, like I said, I lean into that, and a lot of the statements within the pieces are very personal. They're things that I've experienced and things that I'm feeling. So having that literally directly painted and put up for people to see is somewhat terrifying. And the whole kind of tie of second season and the kind of backbone behind the theme of the work is kind of this idea of having kind of like your next chapter. And as part of that, I have a collection of photos from my graffiti writing years that were like just photos of like my life during that time. So like just, playing with fireworks, injuries, like wild things, like painting, like just being all over the place. So it's kind of like this, a look at what chapter 1 looked like, and then you have like a gallery full of kind of what hopefully chapter 2 is.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah.
And the reception seemed great so far, and I'm glad that peeps got to come out, and I still got to stop by and pop in.
Yeah.
Hopefully my work hours can figure everything out with the hours it's open, but
Yeah, if you want to get by too, like on some off hours thing, like just let me know, because the gallery owner's super cool, and I can just be like, oh, somebody wants to go by.
oh
So,
sweet.
yeah.
Hell yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
man. Awesome. Well, I would love to keep talking and keep going, but obviously life is not as free flowing as we wish it could be. So we probably get to somewhat wind down here.
Cool.
You down for some rapid fire quick questions?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Favorite breakfast?
Favorite breakfast? Oh man, what's my time on this? Yo, you know what? Honestly, slept on breakfast burritos.
I love breakfast
Yeah,
burritos.
yeah. Those are heat.
And you can
Like,
freeze them and put them in the air fryer real quick too if you want to just.
I don't even know that.
Yeah,
cheat
like
code.
actually, the homie right here, he used to make frozen burritos all the time. Pop them in the freezer, wrap them up in aluminum
Yo.
foil, take them out, put them in the air fryer while your coffee's making. Boom, and then you got a fresh.
Wow. That's
Time saving.
That's cheat code. Yeah, yeah. I'd have to say breakfast burritos are probably my favorite. Yeah.
I love breakfast burritos.
Yeah.
If you could make a duo of one '90s rapper and one current rapper, what duo would you make?
What 90s rapper and one 90s rapper, one current rapper? Ooh, I would say I would want to hear like 90s at their peak, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
90s
yeah.
at their peak. I would probably say Nas and Killer Mike.
That's a pretty cool one. I don't even know if they've ever worked together actually, too.
I don't think so. There was that like thing on Netflix where it showed them hanging out, but
Yeah,
I think those two.
Rapture.
I think like those two would be like
That'd be pretty
God
well
level
on an
bar
LP
work.
beat. Put a
Yes,
fantastic damage.
It would have to be.
LP or maybe
Yeah.
like Fun Crusher Plus.
Yep.
I do that kind of shit.
Yep.
Second favorite color.
Second favorite color. First color is black. Second favorite color is probably. What do I use all the damn time? Yo, this is probably not as exciting as you'd hope, but brown. I love
I
brown.
like all colors, man.
It's got like it's got some versatility.
Brown is a very beautiful, rich color, or even
Yeah.
like a warm, like almost like orangey color. Brown is a very, very wide range of colors.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you rather give up coffee for a year or bathing for a year?
Whew! That is a tough one because I am a very caffeinated dude. I probably have to say coffee though, because
Yeah,
not washing
just-
for a
just
year.
drink tea,
Yo,
man, just
we
drink
all
tea.
kind of saw what that looked like in the beginning of the pandemic. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I could roll with that one. Yeah.
A go-to Portland food spot.
Go to Portland food spot. Oh my gosh, dude, there's
there's
so
infinite, yeah.
many of those.
This podcast is sponsored by Yardy Ting.
Oh hell yeah! Well then, Yardy Ting, yo,
Hey,
all day,
there we
yo.
go.
Whew, yeah.
Shout 'em out. Shout 'em
my
out.
Goodness, yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong over there.
No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna refrain for time's sake, but I could go into a rant about how much I love Yardy Ting's food. I actually have a couple patties in the freezer right now.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Missy Elliott or Mace?
Or Mace, Missy, for sure.
Same,
like
same.
100%.
Yeah, Missy in my top 10, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
her contributions are overlooked, unfortunately.
I agree.
think she's.
I
yeah.
100% agree.
Yeah,
ODB or Big L?
that's a tough one. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a difficult one. I would. Oh, that is a tough one. I would have to go with. Oh my goodness. Personally, I have to go with ODB because
I think Big L has more songs I like, but ODB, there's something about his energy I can't put into words how much I love.
again, just being your authentic self.
Yes.
Like, and just being like, this is me. I am raw.
His
love
name
love
is
or hate
Old
it.
Dirty Bastard.
Yo, like, you can't, like, I'm sorry, but, and just seemed like the most, like, lovable dude. Like, everyone was like, yo, what you see is what you get.
And he
So,
rapped
like,
his ass off. Like,
oh.
he raps so, like, a lot of the off-kilter, off-cadence, not rapping on beat, like,
Yeah.
type rappers today, like, ODB raps circles around them.
Oh, yeah.
He was rapping in ways, motherfuckers. He was rapping like he was like an electron cloud. Like, he was all over the place at once.
Oh, yeah. But Big
But Big L is again, like,
I know.
punchline for punchline in the pocket, so confident, so much braggadocious energy,
Harlem.
but so fucking clean, bro.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Just
yeah. I mean, that Stretch and Bob freestyle with him and Jay-Z is like one of the most,
Ask Beavis one.
yeah. It's like one of the most like perfect.
Yeah, he
It's
snaps.
like,
Big L was incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. We got
Yeah.
not much time.
Okay, sorry, yeah.
Advice for soon-to-be parents.
Oh wow. You don't know what exhaustion is yet. And,
That's coming from somebody who almost gave up bathing to drinking coffee too.
yep. You don't know what exhaustion is yet, and it is the absolute, without a doubt, best decision I've ever made and the best job I've ever worked.
Nice.
Like,
So that's your advice?
my advice is, yeah.
To all you parents,
Yeah, like,
being
yeah.
a parent is the best thing I
Yeah,
ever
well, yeah. No, I guess advice. So that isn't advice.
No,
I would say
know.
like,
Enjoy it. Maybe like don't.
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
it is. You're making. It's going to be very exhausting and difficult, but you are making one of the best choices I think you will ever make in your life.
I love it.
Yeah.
One more final rapid fire question.
Sure.
Least favorite thing about how Portland's changed to you?
Ooh, yeah, that's a hot take. I can't like the carbon copy human that has arrived from whatever city.
Jersey, California, New
It's
York.
like-
I don't know where it is, man.
This place used to be weird, you know what I mean? It was like it was a safe haven for us weirdos, you know, and it wasn't always great, but it was
Authentic and I think individualistic, maybe?
yes.
Is that a good word to describe it?
Yes. And now it's I gotta wait 2 hours to get a damn coffee because there's a line of people all dressed the same, looking the same in front of me. That's like going out the door.
Yeah, I know.
At every place. That part sucks. Like I hate that shit.
Hey,
but
I feel you.
you know, honestly, that's also some very surface level shit. Dress
And that's
however
happening
you want.
everywhere too.
Yeah.
Though. Like just yuppies from everywhere are gonna move. People got daddy's money, mommy's money. Maybe they got their own money. I don't fucking know. But
Yeah.
I am a hater of privileged people who just, oh yeah, like this, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry.
It's I struggle with it because, you know, I've obviously like gotten to know some folks that would fit that description that are like great fucking people. So it's a very surface. I think at the end of the day, it's me just being inconvenienced with wait times. And the fact that the whole line looks like carbon copy people is the part I noticed. But I'm like, yo, I used to be able to get like a sandwich here in like 15 minutes. Now I gotta wait.
Yo.
I think that's probably at the root of it. It's like the congestion.
Well, I feel you there, B. I think I literally have like 30 seconds, so we gotta be
Cool. All right.
quick like grease here. Final question: where will Ryan Adams be 1 year from now?
1 year from now, hopefully chilling with my family, lakeside or beachside somewhere. Even this time of year.
I love it. I love it. Maybe on vacay. Maybe on staycation.
Yeah.
Who knows? Regardless, Ryan Adams, thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
Second season out now.
Yes.
Notch 8 Gallery. Yardy Ting sponsors this podcast. Thank you at home for listening. RhymeBeat.com. Benny P at RhymeBeat.com. Shout out Soto on the instrumental. And as we usually say, fuck the system, fuck white supremacy. Be safe and have a good night. Peace.
Yo, that was ill.
So bad.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to Ryan Adams for coming through this week and being here, man. Thanks to everybody for watching, for listening, for sharing, subscribing, whatever, man. Any support truly means more than I can convey. And if you really want to ever support, there's a Patreon below. We got some solo podcasts, the links below. I feel kind of weird doing this, but hey, run it up. Hey, yeah. Fuck corporate America. We out here, baby. Regardless, again, just have a good ass rest of your day. Thank you for being here. Take care of yourself, all right? Peace.
RhymeBeat.